Good morning, Vision Nation. This is Jared Asher, Director of North American Sales. We welcome you to today's Ask the Scientist call. If this is your first time joining us, one, we welcome you. We're glad that you were able to get on the call, and we hope that you're able to walk away with some knowledge here to help you build a business and to share the product with those that you're sharing it with. So thank you for joining the call, and also thanks to those that have been faithful in joining us each and every Thursday morning at 10:30 Mountain Standard Time. This has turned out to be just a successful platform for distributors and preferred customers to join and learn a little bit about the Zija product line and some of the ingredients that are in these products and how they help people gain a healthy lifestyle. So thank you for all those that have joined the call. We're going to jump right into the call this morning. We've got Dr. Plant on the phone with us, and we've got three sectors, I'd like to call it, or three pillars that we're going to talk about today, and that is one, exercise, two, dieting, and three, supplementation, and how Zija can help those achieve a healthy lifestyle by exercising, dieting, and then using the Zija product line. So I'd like to first welcome Dr. Plant to the call. Josh, are you on the phone?
Well, good morning, John. Good morning, Beach Nation.
Thank you for joining us, and I'm just going to take a second for those that are new to the call and give you a little background on Dr. Plant. He joined us about 9 months ago, and he's just been a wonderful addition to the Zija corporate team and been very influential in developing and researching and validating the products that we already have and creating new products that are coming down the pipe that will only allow the Zija message to spread throughout the world. So, Josh, we're thankful for you and all that you do here at Zija and for all those that are a part of the Zija Nation.
Well, thank you very much, Jerem, and likewise to you.
And so we're going to jump right into it, Josh. We've been looking at a bunch of emails that have come through. A lot of questions on products, a lot of questions on ingredients, a lot of questions on when the best time to take the Zija products are, and two, I'm taking the products, I'm not experiencing maybe the results that I've seen others experiencing, and we get a lot of those type of emails. And so what we've done is we've structured today's call on exercising, dieting, and supplementation. The first question that I want to ask you, Josh, is about exercise. How important it is to be exercising while you're taking the Zija products. And specifically, let's start with weight training. And someone's in the gym, they're lifting weights, or maybe at their house lifting weights they've got there. How important is it for the body to be exercising in weight training?
It's extremely important. The benefits of weight training are several-fold, and I'm going to speak specifically on just one of them. We hear a lot of times about increasing our metabolic rate or increasing our basal metabolic rate. This is the energy our body demands, the calories our body consumes throughout the day. And by weight training, by increasing our muscle mass, by increasing our strength, our body, when we are sitting down watching TV or sitting at our desk, those muscles are still requiring energy. So by building a strong muscle base, we are increasing our basal metabolic rate, where we are consuming more calories throughout the day. And so an effective part helping somebody manage their weight, helping them increase their basal metabolic rate is weight training. And so it's very important that somebody implement weight training in their daily exercise routine.
Okay, perfect. So we've got three different aspects to exercising that we're going to talk about, weight training being the first. Let's talk a little bit about the second, cardiovascular. How important is that in exercising and seeing long-term results?
Yes, this is extremely important as well, because cardiovascular, kind of like medicine for our heart. We need to do this. We need to push our heart to where it's struggling, so that when we are going about our day, it's able to handle the stress of our daily activities. All of a sudden somebody puts down a big pile of work for us to do and our heart rate goes up. We want our heart to be able to handle that stress. And so cardiovascular health is important for us to strengthen our heart, to strengthen our circulatory system, so that we are able to meet the challenges of the daily life. And coupled with weight training, we are together, it amplifies that basal metabolic rate. So we are burning so many calories throughout the day. And the purpose of this is, I don't know with you, Jeremy, but for me, I'll be on the treadmill and I'll run a half hour and I look at how many calories I burned, and it will say 250 calories or 300 calories. That's the equivalent of like a half a cookie at some places, right? So the real, where we get the benefits of exercise aren't actually just when we are doing the exercise, but they carry throughout the day. So even though we're only burning 200 or 300 calories as running on the treadmill or lifting weights, we increase our basal metabolic rate to where we are burning calories throughout the day. And that is where we really see the benefits of exercise. And so it's critical that we put exercise in as a daily part of our lifestyle so that we are able to take advantage of that. And not only do we see that cardiovascular and weight training help us burn more calories, there are several publications that show and stress the importance of this in helping us manage our appetites. That when we exercise, we are less hungry, and that is an important part as well.
Okay, perfect. So those that are listening, I hope you guys caught on to this. If you're taking notes, please write this down. As you are talking to people and sharing the product with those that you're prospecting, and they're on the product and they're not experiencing maybe something right off the bat, the first and foremost, we got to recognize that everybody's different. There's going to be people that react very quickly. It may take a few days, a few weeks, and possibly even a month before they see significant results in their health and in their lifestyle. You see a lot of programs out there that are pushing 90-day programs. There's a reason why it's 90 days, because it takes time for the body to adjust and to realize that, hey, you're serious, and that it's going to begin to transform and adapt to what this new lifestyle is. And so exercise is, as we've just heard from Dr. Plant, extremely important and vital to achieving a healthy lifestyle. So pillar number one is...
Oh, go ahead. I was actually going to say that this is exercise, this moringa, the Zija things are really centered around people creating a healthy lifestyle. And there's no substitute for us being active, right? That is one of the key pillars of Zija, is an active lifestyle. And we really need to incorporate that to have a healthy lifestyle rather than, as you and I were joking around yesterday, Zija's not here for a healthy day style. We want long-term healthy lifestyles, and exercise is a critical part of that.
Oh, that's great. I love that quote. That Zija is here to create a lifestyle, not a day style. I love that, and we've got to recognize that it begins with creating good habits and exercising and being active. So thank you, Dr. Plant. Let's move into the next segment here. Let's talk a little bit about dieting and the importance of dieting and how that influences and impacts someone's healthy lifestyle. Let's talk about the three big things, right, that people are always asking, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. How essential is it to have carbohydrates in our diet, and what is it doing to our body as we're eating carbs?
Yeah. Everyone goes through fads, right? We went through fads and diets where carbs are bad, eat fats. 10 years before that, fats are bad, eat carbs. And we see that these go cyclical, up and down, to where people are very much kind of extreme on one and the other. The body is designed to utilize all three, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, as sources of energy. And when we become so polarized to where we are just consuming one part in excess and omitting the other two, the body goes through certain changes that aren't necessarily completely healthy. For example, the brain is an energy-consuming machine, but it only can really feed off of glucose. And so when the body does not have, and glucose is a form of carbohydrate, so when the body doesn't have that readily available glucose, a lot of times it's the mind that is suffering, and it's not working at optimal performance. So we see that all three components, carbs, fats, proteins, are critical, but it's very important that they be all consumed in moderation. And so looking specifically at carbohydrates, we see there are a variety of carbohydrates. There's your simple sugars, there's your complex carbs, and not to get too complicated on this, but what is important is that we look at balancing these three components out to where we have carbohydrates largely in the form of complex carbohydrates. This would be like your grains, your oatmeals, these things that make us feel full and relaxed are very important for our body.
And okay, so we've got carbohydrates. Let's talk a little bit about fat. What should people be paying attention to as they're eating when they're looking at labels and it's giving them their grams of fats and what the fats are?
Yeah, so there's mainly two types of fat that we see on labels. There's your saturated fats and your polyunsaturated fats, or your unsaturated fats. Saturated fats are largely animal fats, which in moderation are okay, but we have to make sure that we don't take too much of these. These are correlated with, heart problems, sickness in the cardiovascular. So if we look at polyunsaturated fats, these are your olive oils, your plant fats, your avocados, these things. Not only do they help our cardiovascular system, but they are also very implemental in brain health. These are your omega 3, 6, and 9s, and this is what's so great about moringas. It's got those healthy fatty acids in them, those fats. And so again, we just want to make sure that when you have fats, that you're looking at the right types of fats and that they are in moderation.
Perfect. And now the last that is one of my favorites, just because as I've learned in the transformation of my body and exercising and dieting and giving it proper supplementation, the importance of protein and amino acids and what it actually does to the body as we're active each and every day. Whether you're just getting started or you're already in shape, it doesn't matter, just the importance of protein. So how does that influence our dieting and creating a healthy lifestyle?
Yes, protein. This is probably the one area where we need to consume more of, and this is what makes Zege's Prime 90 so beneficial, is that protein has many benefits, right? Our body can utilize it as energy, but it is also the only one of those three components that our body needs essentially to build up our cells, to build up our muscles, to build up our strength. And protein also has the great ability of making us feel full more than the other components longer. And so by increasing the amount of protein in our diets, we see that we are satisfied longer throughout the day, and we're also giving the body the fuel it needs to rebuild itself, to repair itself, and to grow stronger, leaner muscles. And so it is important to find proteins, and you can usually find proteins in many places, but this is what makes moringa so great, is moringa's got all of that protein with it. It's got those polyunsaturated fatty acids, omega 3, 6, and 9. It's got your carbohydrates in the form of complex carbohydrates. And so moringa, we see, not only does moringa, we hear about the supplementation, it also gives us those three components, so vital for our health. Gives us all three of those components as sources of energy.
So I love what you said here, because these are concepts of a healthy lifestyle that we see each and every day. When you drive down the road and you see billboards, advertising some workout program and some dieting journal and keeping track of what you're eating and giving you certain workouts that you can do in a hotel room or in your living room, or stick in a DVD and you follow a workout or something like that. There's tons of money that's being made, and there's lives that are being changed. The problem is that there's not a lot of those programs that offer proper supplementation. I think that's where a lot of companies and in the industry as a whole, that we drop the ball. And so that leads us into this last topic, and that is proper supplementation. And I specifically want to talk about and ask you a few questions, Josh, on what we should be looking for in our diet and in our supplementation to make sure that our bodies are receiving the proper nutrition it needs as we're beginning to transform physically and lose weight, and the importance of detoxing and things like that. So I'm going to go through and ask you a few questions about, let's start with vitamins and minerals. How important is it to have the vitamins and minerals in our diet, and where are we getting that from the Zege product line?
Exactly. This is, I think, where a lot of people we know that vitamins and minerals our body needs, but we really don't understand the function they serve. And so we talked a little bit about the three sources of energy our body has: carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So if we look at those as the fuel our body needs, what vitamins and minerals are the engine that converts that fuel into energy to work our move. And so without vitamins and minerals and nutrients, so to speak, all we have is a car full of fuel, but with no engine to convert that fuel into energy to help our car move. And so vitamins and minerals are key components that our body needs to get from the food it intakes, or from the supplementation it intakes, to convert those carbohydrates, those fats, those proteins into tangible energy that our body feels. And this is something that we see more and more evident today, and is so necessary because as we are removing nutrients from our food chain, we're eating these huge meals, but we're not feeling energy afterwards. And that is because our body doesn't have those nutrients in the food we just ate to convert that food into fuel. And so we're sluggish after we eat a big meal. We're sluggish after we just got done eating dinner. And we don't feel like we have the energy to go out and exercise or to do these things. And that's because our body is craving nutrients. It's craving those vitamins and those minerals to convert all of the fat, protein, and carbohydrates we ate into energy. And so when we are able to supplement our lives with those vitamins and minerals and those nutrients our body needs, we have an increase in energy. And it's the best type of energy because it's the energy our body already has in it.
Wow, that's great. I love that. We had the chance of traveling 2 weeks ago to Kansas, and we were talking a lot about some of the ingredients and nutrition and what's going on in the body as we're taking the Vija product line. And you said something to me that really sparked my interest. You were talking about fiber. And we're always concerned about vitamin C and getting the vitamins, which are important, but really what we should be looking for and seeing is having more fiber in our diet. So talk to us a little bit about fiber and how that helps in the supplementation process.
Yes, fiber is critical. This is kind of like nature's padding, so to speak. Just 100 years ago, we were consuming roughly 100 grams of fiber. In today's diets, we are consuming 10 to 15 grams. And the reason that this is because the over-manufacturing and over-processing of food, by taking the fiber out, the food has a longer shelf life. And so a lot of times, food has been engineered to remove its fiber. And so now with the fiber so readily gone from today's diets, we are not having the benefits of fiber. And the benefits of fiber are immense. It helps regulate our blood glucose levels. It helps us feel fuller longer. It helps feed the natural biotics in our body so that we have a healthy digestive system. And so because we are so stripped of fiber in today's diet, usually when we have one fibrous meal, all of a sudden we feel bloated and gassy. Well, that's because all of these probiotics that are usually abundant in our digestive system have been dead and gone for so long that we give them a little bit of food and they start to go crazy. And that one gives us the feeling of gassiness and bloatiness. But if we implement fiber regularly throughout our diets, through long term, that regulates itself and we have a healthy digestive system. Our blood glucose levels start to regulate. Our heart health increases. All of these things because we implement something that has been so largely removed from our diet, and that is fiber. And so we see that by, for example, the orange, right? The orange has lots of fiber in it, but today we largely get the benefits of orange juice, from drinking it as orange juice, which has all the fiber stripped from it. And so now we are not regulating the sugar that's in that orange because we've removed the fiber from it. And so we need to make sure that we look and increase our amount of fiber and look for fruits and vegetables. Moringa is an excellent source of fiber to supplement the fiber that has largely been removed from our diets.
Okay, fantastic. And this is going to be the last question of the day. And for those that are taking notes, please listen very carefully. But let's talk about the reason that we're all on this call right now. And that simply started with Ken Brailsford seeing a vision of an incredible botanical that he knew could change thousands of lives and also stimulate economies throughout the world. And that is simply the Moringa oleifera. Tell us a little bit about, and give us, the elevator pitch, so to speak. It's my first time hearing about Moringa. What are some facts that we can tell people as we're sharing it that will spark interest and validate what we have as a company?
Excellent. So what Moringa does, Moringa helps our body connect with itself. Moringa gives the nutrients our body needs to convert the fats, the proteins, the carbs into tangible energy so that we can go out and we can exercise, and we can have a healthier lifestyle. And here at Vija, we have complemented Moringa with several ingredients. We have taken all the different parts of the nutritious parts of the plant, combined them together to maximize the benefits of Moringa and helping people transform their lives to create a healthy lifestyle. And that is just one of the many miracles of work. As you talked about, it's due to the economies worldwide. It is also a product that has the ability to change lifestyle, both in health and the healthiness of one's body.
That is fantastic. So I love how you said that in creating a lifestyle. You know, you look at the three components here that we've been talking about. That's exercising, dieting, and supplementation. And you know, you can do supplementation and you can do exercise and have a bad diet and still have a healthy lifestyle. You can do dieting and exercise and have some degree of a healthy lifestyle. You can mix and match those three. But truly, when you take the power of those three, exercise, diet, and supplementation, life's change, and it's long term. Because your body's back to a point where you're feeling happy, you're burning energy, you have energy, you're being active in your lifestyle, you're achieving financial goals because as you're sharing the message, your organizations are growing, people are seeing a difference in you. I mean, how many times have we seen and heard the story of, you know, someone gets on the Zija product line, they lose 20 pounds, and the neighbor that's had this barrier of in listening to what the Zija products do finally says, all right, Josh, you've lost 20 pounds, you look fantastic, I've noticed that you're far more active in your life. What is it you're doing? And so I love the fact that you're constantly teaching us about what it takes to truly achieve a healthy lifestyle. And it's these three components, exercise, dieting, and supplementation. So, Dr. Clance, thank you for all that you do in enlightening us and teaching us how we can achieve that healthy lifestyle. And folks, please, if you have any questions, email those in to us. We read those each and every week to prepare for this call. And we want to make sure that your questions are being answered and on a platform that allows everybody to see what's going on. I know a lot of times you wonder, well, am I the only one that's seeing this, or am I the only one that's experiencing this? And the answer is no. We see a lot of the same questions being asked throughout the organization, and so that is why this call has been so successful. So thank you very much for joining us. Please join us again next Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and make sure your team is on the call. That being said, the lines are now open.